Oh, shit. Ooh.
And we're back here for you on Live Now from Fox. I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us. Next up, let's go out to Polk County, Florida. Sheriff Grady Judd giving an update. Over the weekend, there was a party that got out of hand, and now police are saying that it turned into a riot, and they have video from that party that went terribly wrong really fast. Let's bring it to you here on Live Now from Fox.
That we have done everything in the world we could to correct. We started out with education. In addition to education, we tried to be friendly. We tried to coach. We tried to counsel. We pled. We begged. We did everything we could in order to get people to comply on the lakes, on the chain of lakes, and specifically Lake Winterset, and even more specifically in the area they call the Point. We realize you go out on the boat to have fun. We realize you go out to be with your family. But there's a few people who do things that's so outrageous that it shocks the community. And let me give you some examples of conduct that we saw prior to just this weekend. And at one point in time, I did a video or a piece and showed a picture of someone defecating in someone's yard.
Oh, wow.
And I got all of this, but they were in the bushes and all that. You're in somebody's backyard going to the bathroom.
Welcome to Ace.HonestTakes. I'm your host, Ace. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. Let's get us to 1,000 subscribers. I'm working hard, as you guys can see. But let's talk about these thugs, man. Let's talk about these thugs. See, this is what I hate about these kinds of public service announcements and all this other kind of good stuff like this, right? So, my first time seeing this video, anytime I get any video, this always try to be like my first time I see it, so you get my genuine, actual reaction to any video that I might see, right? So we saw the video when it first started out, people literally swinging on each other, meleeing, it looked like somebody was dying, some girl was pumping his chest. I don't know what's going on with that, but that just looked like a bunch of thugs, right? It looked like a bunch of thugs to me. I don't care what you think, what you say, they look like thugs, right? And the issue that I have with situations like this is, if this was flipped around, and it's going to be kind of slightly a race thing, right? It's not going to be majority race, but this still will be a race topic as of right now, right? If this were black individuals, black people, black African Americans, whatever you want to say, right? However you want to say it, y'all would already got this already corrected. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you started out talking about education and trying to do this and trying to do that and being nice and all this other kind of stuff. No. They thugs. You got the video. Find who these people is. Lock their ass up. That's what I want. I live in the state of Florida. I'm afraid. Lock their ass up. You feel me? Because if the shoes on the other foot, y'all would have done the same thing to us. The first time the video came out, y'all would have found all them people, all of their ass would have been locked up. So I need you to do that same thing. That's what I hope this is about. Let's go.
And then we've got these pictures. Okay? Now, I don't know if he's saying, hey, let me help you out of the tree. The private property sign, I guess they thought that was only for the bird.
Homeboy getting dome over there.
You should say, hello, Mom, what do you think? Or, this is up close and personal. Or, what about this? What are you doing? You playing hide and seek? That's interesting.
Homeboy getting dome.
Or maybe she's saying, do you need a beer? But she's whispering it to him real quiet like. You know what I'm saying? So this conduct is happening in the middle of the afternoon in people's backyards where they're trespassing or on a boat where she's standing in the water adjacent to people's homes, where there are people who are trying to enjoy their own life, where there are people with children, and this kind of sexual activity is happening in the public. So we've tried to work with people.
See, y'all want to work.
But the game's over. And I'll tell you why the game's over.
So this is the bad part. So they had to get pushed to their limits of being nice, being courteous, being polite, doing everything else to warn them, say, hey guys, can you please stop doing this? Now y'all want to catch an attitude, and now y'all want to goddamn go crazy now.
I want to
Let's
show
hear
you
this
sign. What we're going to talk about today happened on a lot where we have at least 15 of these signs. It's in a area of a vacant lot where they pull up to, and instead of staying in the water, where there's a loophole, as long as their feet are in the water, they can be at your back door. But then they get up onto people's property. You see, this sign says, by order of the sheriff. This is not a suggestion. So a week ago, we received a 911 call where there were a group of individuals who wants to be, again, being raucous and out of control and fighting. By the time the deputies arrived, they had fled. We chased down one boat, and there were two people there that said, hey, yeah, a couple of guys had a fight, but it's broken up and it's cool, and they wouldn't cooperate. But our Marine Patrol folks, who are the very best, got into this investigation because they created a significant disturbance once again. So I want to tell everyone, Dad and friends can be very impressed. Here's who we've arrested. Now, let me go over this for you. These groups of people were at one time friends. And apparently back in March, there's a local bar called the El Rodeo Bar where a fight occurred, and there were some criminal charges filed. Well, some of the group didn't like the fact that there were criminal charges filed, and we're looking into tampering with evidence. But now, a week ago, at this disturbance, these folks kind of ended up at the point. And it started with talking to each other and screaming and hollering at each other. And then they got to fighting up on the land. Oh, they were fighting. If you can see where part of the scrum occurred, there's one guy laying on the ground knocked out between two of our no trespassing signs. So our investigation took us to arrest them. Now we have Tim Gooding here. He's our sucker puncher. You know, he'll run up behind you and knock you out cold. He knocked another person out into the water. In addition to that, this Peyton Ely, who's 19, we charged him by affidavit a couple of months ago when he called up Uber Eats, ordered some beer, and walked through people's yard out to the road to get the beer to go back to the lake. Listen to me, folks. This is long past a joking matter. We've coached, we've pled, we've begged, and once again, you see what we got. A bunch of kids have gone to jail. These guys are 23, 19, 21. Richard's 40. He's way old enough to know better. 22, 21, 21, and 17. Gavin Gooding is Tim Gooding's juvenile brother. So he picked up, in addition to riot, disorderly conduct, affray, he got a contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Nate Land, and once again, all these folks were friends at one time. The bottom line to this is you go, oh, what's the big deal? I want you to think about this. I want you to think that you go home this afternoon or this weekend, and you're in your backyard, and these folks, whether they're in boats or vehicles, pull up to the edge of your property, put on their music to blast, using the F word, with your children there, and that goes on all afternoon. And then they roll out in a big mob into your yard and fight. And you know, if you're not fighting, you can do other things that start with an F, like this in the yard. We're over it. Now, I'm going to give you one last warning. Our Marine Patrol people are going to be out there. Some you're going to see, some you're not going to see. But write this down in your little book. We're going to put people in jail this weekend for conduct that we previously tried to warn you about. So, go home and get your bond money together right now. You can carry it in your pocket. It'll help you get out of jail quicker. We're going to take you to jail, but also bring enough money, because we're going to tow your truck, we're going to tow your car, we're going to tow your wave runners, we're going to lock y'all up until you figure out that you can't misbehave in the community, that you can't fight, that you can't knock people unconscious. It's over, folks. It's over.
Now, so we just seen all this information, which is great. So thank this gentleman right here, even though he seemed like it took them a while to get this done, right? Yeah, it looked like just a bunch of young thugs, man, just out here just fighting and carrying on, and y'all been just kind of sitting back letting them do it, right? But overall, you know, they did finally kind of grab their nuts and figure it out and try to, you know, well, not try, but they did lock those thugs up, which I'm ecstatic about, because, you know, that's ridiculous, right? Because every time I'm looking online, you know, we get locked up for just bullshit and playing around, or, you know, what we consider just getting together, right? And so yeah, so I'm excited about that. I'm happy about that. That makes my heart smile. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. How do y'all feel about this? You know, I know a lot of people in Florida. You know, you love the water, you love the lakes and the ocean and all this other kind of stuff like that, right? So, you know, water to them is important. But how do you feel about this whole thing now with the sheriff? Me personally, I like it. It's important to me, but like I said, I live in Florida, so I'm excited. I'm happy about it, and you know, I don't know, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. I'm your host Ace, and I'm out. Peace.